You've done your research. You know roughly what you want to spend. You've looked at the reviews and you've got a short list. But there's something most seniors don't find out until after the paperwork is signed. Some of the used cars dealers push hardest in the $10,000 to $30,000 range are the exact ones you should walk away from. Not because they look bad, because dealers know what the data says about them and you don't. Today I'm counting down the used cars that keep showing up on dealer lots and the documented reason behind every single one of them, pulled from iSeeCars market data, car complaints recall records, and RepairPal ownership costs. If you're shopping for something reliable that will last you 10 years without drama, watch this before you sign anything. And number one is going to be one you've probably already considered. Let's get into it. Number 9, the Dodge Hornet. The dealer describes it as a modern, affordable crossover. Fresh off a new platform, reasonable price, and it looks current. Nothing about the showroom experience signals trouble. That is the whole point. iSeeCars data from February 2026 shows used Hornets averaging 87.2 days on the lot, nearly double the 53-day used car average. When a car that is only 2 or 3 years old is already aging on dealer floors, that is the market telling you something. And what it is telling you in this case is recalls. Multiple NHTSA recall documents have been opened on the Hornet covering safety systems in vehicles only a few years old. For a senior buyer whose goal is to purchase one reliable vehicle and not think about it again for a decade, a model with this much open recall activity this early in its life is not the safe bet it appears to be at the window sticker. The dealer wants it gone. Before you test drive one, ask how long it has been on the lot. Before we dive deeper to the list, if this is helping you, please consider subscribing. It genuinely helps a lot and costs nothing. Number 8, the 2015 to 2020 Nissan Altima. This is the car a careful researcher ends up looking at almost every time. Japanese name, conservative styling, a price that fits the budget, and reviews that have always been decent. Dealers know this and they stock them accordingly. iSeeCars data shows the 1 to 5-year-old used Altima averaging 112.1 days on the market in February 2026. That is 2.25 times the national used car average. Cars do not sit that long in a competitive used market by accident. They sit because the people who know these cars best, dealers, fleet managers, and wholesale buyers, are not keeping them. The problem is the CVT, the continuously variable transmission used across the Altima lineup in this era. Car complaints complaint pages show transmission failure stories going back through these model years, including a 2016 owner who needed a CVT replacement around 89,000 miles and a 2015 owner who reported failure at just 13,000. If your goal is one car for the next 10 years on a fixed income, a transmission with that kind of track record is the wrong foundation to build on. The Altima's name is solid. This generation's powertrain is not. If a dealer pushes one toward you, ask for the full service history before you go any further. Number 7, the 2014 to 2019 Jeep Cherokee. The Cherokee fits the used SUV checklist almost perfectly on paper. Midsize, practical, American name, and prices in this generation that land comfortably in the $10,000 to $20,000 window. The dealer lot version looks clean, feels substantial, and the price seems fair. iSeeCars flagged the Cherokee as a state-level slow seller, sitting 116.3 days in Minnesota, more than double the average. Soft used demand on a popular nameplate is a signal worth understanding. The documented risk here is transmission behavior. Chrysler issued a recall on 2014 Cherokees equipped with the 3.2-liter engine specifically because affected vehicles could unexpectedly shift into neutral while driving. That is not a software inconvenience. That is a safety event. Car complaints complaint pages for the 2015 Cherokee show rough shifting reports continuing after the recall period. For a senior driver who wants predictable, trustworthy transportation for 10 years, someone who should never have to wonder if their car is going to behave on the highway, a transmission history with that kind of language in it is a reason to look elsewhere, no matter how right the price feels. Number 6, the 2014 to 2019 Ford Escape. The Escape is one of the most recognized names in the used compact crossover market, and that recognition is exactly why it keeps moving off dealer lots, even when it probably shouldn't. It looks like the sensible choice. iSeeCars flagged the Escape as one of its state-level slow sellers at 124.6 days on the lot in Connecticut, among the worst of any mainstream crossover in the study. But the more important number is this. iSeeCars' Used Cars for the Money study shows a 10-year-old Ford Escape with an expected remaining lifespan of just 4.9 years. You are shopping for a car to carry you through the next decade. This one may not make it. Car complaints pages on the 2017 Escape show repeated transmission failure reports and coolant intrusion stories, with repair quotes from owners in the $5,000 to $6,000 range. For someone who has done the work of researching a purchase like this, finding out 2 years in that the car needs a $5,000 transmission is not an acceptable outcome. The Escape is one of those vehicles where the brand name does the selling and the reliability record does the damage, usually after the warranty is gone. Number 5. The 2015 to 2022 Chrysler 300. Walk into most used car lots and you will find a Chrysler 300 near the front. Long hood, upright grille, bold proportions. It looks like value. The price is dropped far enough to make it feel like a deal on something substantial. That is exactly how dealers merchandise it, and it works because the car makes a strong first impression. The 300 has deep roots in rental fleet channels, which means clean-looking examples move through auctions cheaply and show up on dealer lots dressed as bargain luxury sedans. RepairPal gives the Chrysler 300 a reliability rating in the middle of the pack, with an average annual repair cost of $631 and 38 documented recalls across the model's lifetime. Earlier examples in the budget range also carry Takata airbag history and rocker arm engine complaints. For a senior buyer who wants one dependable car and no surprises, 38 recalls on the model page is information worth sitting with before you sign. The 300 makes an impression at the dealership. It tends to make a different one at the repair shop 5 years later. Now here is where the list starts getting genuinely serious. Number 4. The 2019 to 2022 Infiniti QX50. This is the luxury trap that catches careful buyers. It is a genuine luxury badge. It has a premium feel inside, and the price on a 3 to 5 year old example feels surprisingly reasonable for what you are getting. The dealer pitches it as the smart move, real luxury at a fraction of the original cost. iSeeCars' February 2026 slow seller data shows the used QX50 averaging 116 days on the market, 2.33 times the national average. That is the worst slow sell ratio on this entire list. Something is keeping buyers away even after the price drops. That something is Nissan's VC turbo engine. The 2019 to 2022 QX50 is among the vehicles included in Nissan's VC turbo recall and subsequent 10-year, 120,000-mile warranty extension, issued because of a defective bearing that can cause engine failure. RepairPal documents potential repair costs that reach into the $4,000 to $5,000 range for major failures, including head gasket work estimated at $4,257 to $5,735. For a senior driver whose goal is to stop worrying about a car and just drive it, an engine recall of this severity is not a minor footnote. It is the main story. Ask why it has been on the lot for 4 months before you consider writing a check. Number 3. The 2012 to 2018 Audi A6. This is where the luxury trap becomes genuinely convincing. An Audi A6 from this generation in the $15,000 to $25,000 range feels like exactly the kind of find a careful researcher earns. It was a $50,000 to $60,000 car when new. It is comfortable, refined, and loaded with features. The price now suggests you have found something most people missed. Dealers lean into all of that. What they do not mention is the ownership cost. RepairPal documents the average annual repair cost on the Audi A6 at $913 per year. For someone on a fixed income planning to keep this car for 10 years, that is $9,000 in average repair costs before any major work. And the major work exists. Car Complaints and Audi's own technical service bulletins document a timing chain drive rattle issue on the 3.0T engine that mechanics describe as common in this mileage range. Timing chain work on a German luxury vehicle is not a small job. The car is impressive. What nobody tells you at the dealership is what it costs to keep it that way. Number 2. The 2014 to 2021 BMW 3 Series. This is the classic dealer upsell to a senior buyer who has done their homework. You walk in looking at mid-size sedans, and someone steers you toward a used 3 Series at $20-something thousand. It was $45,000 when new. The leather is real, the badge is real, and everything about the experience of sitting in it feels like you are making a smart move. IC Cars showed used BMW 3 Series models sitting 106.3 days on the lot in Michigan, well above the national average. The reason matters. In 2026, BMW is facing an active oil filter housing lawsuit specifically naming 2014 to 2021 3 Series models. The lawsuit alleges the oil filter housing fails around 60,000 to 80,000 miles, causing coolant leaks and potential overheating. Owners report repair costs of $1,500 to $4,000. You have worked too long and too carefully to hand someone a check for a car that is going to hand you a repair bill in year 2. The badge is not the problem. The repair curve behind it is. If a dealer presents one of these as the smart choice, ask them to show you the service records for every mile it has been on the road. Number 1. The 2014 to 2021 BMW 5 Series. This is the one. The BMW 5 Series in this price range is the single most persuasive trap on this list because everything about it is designed to feel like a win. It was an executive class sedan, $60,000 off the showroom floor, and now it is sitting at $22,000 or $25,000 next to a Camry and a Corolla, and the dealer is quietly asking you to consider whether you deserve something better after a lifetime of practical choices. That pitch lands. But the 2026 BMW oil filter housing lawsuit names the 5 Series alongside the 3 Series. Same failure pattern, same mileage window of 60,000 to 80,000 miles, same coolant leak and overheating risk, same repair estimates of $1,500 to $4,000. The 5 Series also carries the full cost structure of a European flagship, parts pricing, specialist labor, and a dealer service network that charges accordingly. For a senior buyer whose goal is one dependable car for 10 or more years with no financial surprises, the 5 Series offers the most compelling showroom story on this entire list and some of the worst math behind it. If you are standing in front of one right now, the question to ask is simple. Why is a $60,000 car sitting here at $25,000? The dealer knows the answer. Now you do too. And there you have it. 9 used cars that dealers are eager to move, and the documented reason behind every single one. The Dodge Hornet with its early recall history, the Nissan Altima with its CVT track record sitting 112 days on dealer lots, the Jeep Cherokee and its transmission recall, the Ford Escape with less than 5 years of expected life left on a 10-year budget, the Chrysler 300 dressed up as a bargain luxury sedan, the Infiniti QX50 with a VC turbo engine recall and repair costs into the thousands, the Audi A6 at nearly $1,000 a year in average repairs, the BMW 3 Series named in an active oil filter lawsuit, and the BMW 5 Series, the most persuasive story on a dealer lot and the most expensive one to find out you were wrong about. All of this research came from IC Cars market data, Car Complaints recall and complaint records, and RepairPal ownership cost figures. Every number in this video is sourced and verifiable. If you are in this market right now, take this list with you. If this helped you avoid a bad decision, hit the like button and subscribe. I put out videos like this every week. See you in the next one.